So, this is the basic ideology here. Let's break down this thing. So, what is this? Like we were talking about methodology, but yeah, it is having few more steps. Like how to choose target. You guys can ask questions. I'll be replying them. How to choose target. How to identify something sensitive or maybe vulnerable. How to identify something vulnerable. Okay. So let's take a look on that. How to find something vulnerable. Am I audible now? I think I'm audible. Just take a look on that. So, how to identify something sensitive, and then one more thing is there, which is how to make reports. Like, let's say we are going to solve all doubts here. We don't care. I don't know how much this live is going to take, but yeah, what tools we can use on which files or which outputs. Like, that's a very basic question. Then, how to fuzz. Then, let's add on more topic is how to find disclosed information. So, how to choose target. So, how to choose target. So, when we're talking about target, it's a very different thing. Choosing target is not about scope and all these things. If I think I'm having a time of around few weeks, I will definitely go with a big scope with acquisitions accepted. And when it about to hunt on small scope, look, there's nothing like small or large scope in my opinion. All what we have is very simple, which is either we are having a good scope or a bad scope, and both of them are vulnerable. That's the thing. So what we are having is very simple. We can go for the exact overview of what we are having out there. So suppose if I say we are having let's say we are having good scope, so that means a good functionality, right? So there's one more thing. Something which is a good scope or good target for me will not be a good target for you, because there's a thing that when you are hunting on a program, when you're taking a look on a program, there are few things that really matters. The first one is your preferability. Suppose I will go for Laravel or maybe some sort of Apache or Nginx thing, but you might not be comfortable with them, or you might not be very good with them, and you want to go with the uh, let's say you might go with the WordPress, right? So it depends what you are comfortable with, but in the end, the bug matters. So how to choose target? Good scope, good subdomains, and good acquisitions if possible. Yeah, there must be a good acquisitions out there. Suppose you're hunting on Zomato, there's a lot of acquisitions out there. So be aware of it. Then then we have few more things, which is the background of target, like the reward structures and all those things. Yeah, it really matters. If the reward is over $2,000, I will go on it. Third thing, it's not only about reward or choosing the target. Few more things really matters. Like let's say We can simply say that after choosing the target, we can or we should go for the visual inspection, like how everything is going on, what are the functions out there, that type of things. Suppose if you go for Tesla, there's a lot of acquisitions out there. If I just type here Crunchbase Tesla 10 acquisitions, that's a good number. Right now we can hunt on this one too if they are having a proper policy. But if we just take a look on the Tesla bug crowd, you will simply see that any domains from acquisitions are out of scope. So we can't test it out. But lot of programs allow this like Apple or maybe Google, maybe ATT, yeah, they might allow it. So that's a very important thing to notice. Now, all these things really matters. Now, how recon looked like. So there's a thing you might be having. You chose a target, found subdomains, got IPs, sorted alive, and then use some tools. Then you have Wayback. You have few more tools to use. Then you have this is the final result, which is 560 subdomain, 450 alive subdomains, 10,000 Wayback, 3,000 GS file, 20,000 endpoints. So let's take the final view how we can do that according to my Twitter post till now. So you can use multiple tools like Subfinder with API, Bbot, Amas for ASN number scan, Subdominator, curl. So what I will use, I have a configured Subfinder, so I will go with this one, Bbot and curl and Amas. I am not going to use Subdominator here. So let me remove it. I have few more tools. I will better use that. So we are good with the live subdomains. We have used HTTP probe or HTTPX. So I have seen a question that yeah, HTTP probe gives me two times result than the original file. So it is having few alteration between HTTP and HTTPS. So yeah, it might give that result. Then JS files, yeah, JS files is as good as always. Yeah, my methodology boy. So it is not started yet. So we have like JS files. What we will usually do, we will go for some tools like JSKit, JSF scan. No, come on, that's the main thing. The JS file is for enumeration, not for tools. It's for us, right? We are not going to force tools to find something in there. We have to do that. Now, there is a way to do it. We will take a look on that. Now, we have a lot of endpoints. We will sort them out and on the basis of their commonness. Suppose there is a lot of subdomains, where also a lot of endpoints in a very common manner. Come on, we can do that. Now, this is not all things, right? If company has made 560 subdomains, there must be some sort of use behind that. Second thing, we are having alive subdomains. What about the dead subdomains? Is there a past related to dead subdomains or something? We have to take a look on that. Yes, there will be a. What about alive subdomains then? Look, alive subdomains is not something like 200 OK, 200 OK. There might be some sort of different subdomains too. So it's not limited to 200 OK. You can sort it out if you want to, obviously, but yeah. Now, endpoints, JS files, all good. Now, how we can do with this? So, first thing is subdomain leveling. Like the starting step, we know we have 5,000 subdomains. Now, we will use Subfinder, or I will preferably say AMAS on the list of 500 subdomains to get few more subdomains. And the few more subdomains might result in very good responses. It might be, let's say, admins, or it might be few or right. It's not limited to a very beginner one or like something like other subdomains. This might be a good subdomain, and that can help you a lot. So always try to find this type of subdomains too. I will say you can repeat this process for over three times. I usually do it for three times. That's why. Then three times is good. Now, what about the alive subdomains, sorted out alive subdomains? Now you have to stop for a few moments here. You have sorted the subdomains and alive subdomains. Now you have to take a look on the actual website. Look, there is no use that website will make 5,000 or 10,000 subdomains without any use. There must be a cause. So what you have to do, you will simply go for the app.domain.tld or maybe few more subdomains like profile or settings and something like that. But what about the other subdomains? You have to take a look on that. And that's the very obvious thing that, okay, how can we take a look on 450 or 4,000 alive subdomains? Simple as that. Use the tool iWitness or Go Witness and jump on it. You can use those tools to get a very good result. And that can result in some sort of very good folder which is having a collection of around 4,000 subdomain screenshots. So, how will it help you? Those subdomains who are having admin portals or maybe some sort of portals functionalities, or those who are in the 403 or 404, all of them will be sorted out visually. You will have a proper idea that what we can do it. Then, yeah, that can help. In the Google and Apple, I have found the same method to find few bugs and that worked. And in many cases, it still works. Then, Wayback URLs. Look, it is often said that Wayback URLs is having a lot of information and it is a gold mine, all these things. But yes, if you know how to dig it, there might be information. So, how to take a look on Wayback files? You will get a lot of tweets, lot of ideas that grab this, grab that, and try to look for this file, look for that thing in that. So, I have made a very sorted out thing. It is a very sorted out thing that we have to what we have to take a look on. So I have mentioned a list in the comment, or I will mention a list which is having a whole list of Wayback URL grep list. Technically, it's a list what you have to take a look on the Wayback file. That was the list that I usually use, and it can find few of the good things. Definitely, you can even find. It will even sort the JS URLs, all the .js URLs. And now we are coming to JS URLs. There is tools we can use JSecrets, we can use other tools and all these things. Even I have seen few people use Nuclei on that, and that's a good thing because suppose there's a 10,000 JS files, you can't do all of the things by yourself. So you use that types of tools, and that can really help a lot. Then subdomain and the levels, yeah, I just told about that. Now let's take a look on the other steps. Gathering information, or look, the main step or the most time I think spent is in the scope. Like you try to find acquisitions on Google on multiple things like Crunchbase and all these things. Then you go for their respective ASN numbers. Then you find the domains using ASN number. Then after finding domains using ASN number, you will find all the subdomains and then just repeat the process few times. Now then you will simply go for the other tools, and then the final subdomain list you will use for it for leveling. Then you will try to find the HTTPX good. Now, in the meantime, you go on Shodan, you try to find all the IPs, you use the Shodan command in the terminal, the Shodan CLI, to get all the IP data. Like, you have found a lot of IPs and open ports, you gather all the IPs. You gather all the IPs, you gather all the IPs, and then find open ports of it. Maybe you can do that, but when it comes to open ports, find all open ports. Suppose you can use Rasterscan, Nabu, or Nmap from 1 to 65,000 all subdomains. You find all subdomains out there, and that's the best thing about it. Then, what about subdomains? It's done yet? I don't think so. So now you get to take a look on the source codes, right? There are multiple tools that can help you in source code. They will simply take a look on them and give you multiple subdomains. And there is also call command that is very useful. Like I have seen that everyone will be like, we are having, or the call command is already working with the subfinder. Why we have to do it separately? But when it comes to separately using it, there is a very different output out there. When you are having a good look on all these things, you are having a decent collection of it. But after all, you need to do Wayback URLs. Now, everyone will be Wayback URLs on the main domain, like target.tld. But you make a file which is sub raw. In I just name it as sub raw, subdomains hyphen raw, which is having only domains of all the targets, like the target with their acquisitions and all these things is all their main domains only, not subdomains, and you use Wayback URLs onto it, and that can significantly give good results. And you can use it twice to make a Wayback 1, Wayback 2, and merge them. So after merging the files, you have good Wayback collection. Now take a look on these files. Try to look for .zip, .bakf. Try to look for URLs. Try to look for the IPs on them. Try to look for um, let's say internal files. May like search something like JWT tokens. A recent bug last week was very simple. In the JWT or in the Wayback file, I have found 37,000 email disclosure of a company using the Wayback. So definitely you can do it. Now I have made a Wayback tool for it. I will just show about tell about it in the last. Not public yet. Not going to be even. Then after Wayback, what we can do? Wayback is not just enough to this, right? Now next step, subdomain alive, subdomains, Wayback, JS files. Good. We are on the JS file part. JS file is way more complex than we think. Right? JS files are like, you can use tools and they will be giving you results in within 10 minutes. But are you really sure that that's the all, like this is the all details we need? No, come on. We really need to understand that how things are working out there. JS files are good, no doubts on that, but JS files are not real on the way, I guess. JS files, you can use JS scan, JS secrets tool, but come on, the tools are not enough out there, I guess. Tool is not everything that you need. You need few more practical things. You can use nuclei on that. Suppose if you're using nuclei on this, you can go with the HTTP exposure folder, which is in the nuclei, which is usually detecting exposures. But come on, that's not enough, even enough. So there are a few more ways that you can use this tool. You can even use Wayback the Bub Suites JS Miner. I have seen a lot of people using it with a good response. So as someone asked here, practicing on labs for a month but don't know how to get started with real world targets. The simple answer to this would be like, labs are made vulnerable. Real life is not supposed to made vulnerable. Vulnerable are both, but one is supposed to be and one is not supposed to be vulnerable. So on that note, when you are taking a look on is it vulnerable or not, or is it having significant bugs in it or not? So it's a simple answer. The lab will you will simply identify, okay, there's the uh, flag in the lab, but in real life application you don't know how to analyze behavior or how to find the exact parameter that you found in lab. So it's all about having spending some time understanding the flow of website, and then you can go with the website. That's simple. Now how recon looked like, recon used to look like this, now we have to change it completely. So how to identify something sensitive? Look, something sensitive doesn't mean it should be something like API key or user equals to. If there is a disclosure, there should be at least 50 to 100 disclosures of email or name and or whatever you have. Then, how to identify something sensitive in APIs? API is not sensitive. You have to find the exact exploitability of it. Third thing, what tools can we use? We can use multiple tools. Look, tools is not limited to anything, right? For let's say you are having 20 tools for subdomain finding. That's crazy. But we need to do few more additional steps, right? It's not just 20 tools. There must be a few more things. Like tools is not enough. You can go for something like let's say after HTTPX, what we can use? Katana, we can go with the subg, subfinders, subg, subject, subover, subdomain takeover. Then we can go for AMAS, subdomain, subfinder. Then we are going for the smuggler tool. Then we are going for the cloud onion tool. We are going for application, or if you know, if you are doing Android pen testing, you can go for the Bevigal, MobSF, or manual for the Jenny Motion and all these things. Then few more tools, if I say, let's just take a look on that in the terminal. CD terminal tools. So you're having a lot of tools, which is like, CVDB, that's a good one. GraphQL map, JSF scan, lock sensor, param pam pam. Then we are having subdominator, yeah, you can use it. Smuggler, cloud anium, right? Way more. XML link finder, TPL map, access count. This is a new one. I haven't tried it, but take a look on it and let me know. AEM hacker, security details, Python version, Gory, SQL map, all these tools. You should use it. By using few tools like, let me show you something. This is a new course about the recon. It's around $100 of recon. Like it's a 65 steps of recon, around 5 to 8 hours of content in it, and having a multiple things like, you know, how Bob can even find bugs. You have heard that only Bob can buff it enough to find bugs, and how to do that. That's the whole process here with a lot of POC collection and all these things. The next live will be on the maybe Thursday, and we will be doing a XSS POC breakdown. So stay tuned till it. Now, identification of something sensitive doesn't mean it should be sensitive, right? I have found something like this yesterday. Take a look here. I don't know how is it visible or not. But just a second. So found something like this on a website with the API key or domain database URLs, all these things. But technically, it was not having that much impact. Why? How can you read this thing? Right? Is it exploitable? We don't know. So if we are able to exploit something, then it is sensitive. It might be sensitive still. It is not like, yeah, it will be. It might be sensitive because sometimes, exploitability doesn't mean that, yeah, there is an impact. It might be a very low impact. Google Maps API. If you exploit that thing, there is no impact. You will still get informative because Google will repay all the scammed money, or I will say the misused points. How can I read the chat? I am having separate screen for it. Now, What tools we can use? There's a very big list. I will mention in the pinned comment if I commented here. So wait for it. Along with the grep list. Let me show you what is the grep list here. Just give me a moment. Let me find it. So here is the grep list. Let me share the URL in the live chat. So that's a whole list that what you have to grab in a file, right? To find some sort of information disclosures, to find some sort of endpoint, access key, APIs, all these things. Alright. Then I have few more things. In the particular $100 course, let me show you 100-recon in a Google Drive. Wait a minute. I don't know why, but my camera is not visible out there. So that is the course, the $100 recon, and here are we having some few things like tools. So I made two personal tools, the Databug version 2 and the DAM IP. So technically, what these tools do, like look, this was on sale for like last 3 months to those students who are already a part of the batch 4, and we are having more than 9 students here. Technically, we are having 11 students as much as I remember. Okay, so what about the recon? We are having few tools, and what their tools can do, these tools can perform on the like one of the tools which is databug.sh. What this tool is going to do, let me tell you, and if you want to do, let me know. Let me tell you. So after Wayback or during Wayback, just use the tool on the Wayback file, and in file, it will find all the endpoints in a single folder with all the endpoints, all the of web applications, firewalls, all these things, all details in a separate files in a single folder. And then it will ask you to run specific template that you will be provided with that tool of nuclei if you want to use that particular thing on your JS files. And yeah, after doing that on JS files, yeah, it will give me significant bugs. For those who are from the batches, you guys can leave your review if you want to. Then identifying something sensitive, it's simple. Impact to company or users. That's all. What tools you can use? I will tell you. Suppose there is a subject output or a subdomain output. So you will use subject sub over on it to find subdomain takeover and cross check it. On HTTPX, you can go for Param Spider, Katana, Smuggler, FFUF. FFUF is important, right? If you know how to use it, you can go for few more things like uh, GAU, right? J is always there. GAU and way more, all these things. So I will also mention this type of list too. Then how to first look. That's a very seems like a very boring question, but yeah, we need to understand how to first information. Information is not something which is very easily found, right? And it might be easily found, but it's all about your approaches. So I am having this how to find disclosed information. How will I find it? Or how will I first for information? So fuzzing is simply like having a very simple methodology. Fuzz according to the technology. Like if there is a Apache, fuzz for it. Nginx, fuzz for it. There is some sort of other AEM thing, fuzz for it. Right? Simple as that. Yeah, nuclear generates false positive. Definitely, completely agreed to it. But if you know how to use it for detection, suppose you're having 50,000 subdomains or 10,000 subdomains, you are not easily able to get all the functions of it, right? So you can use the detection templates of nuclei to get all the function ideas of it, how it is working and what tool is using, what subdomain is having X type of X type of what we say that uh, technology. So if the domain.tld is having a functionality of AEM, maybe some type of other subdomain will be having other ones. So we can use nuclei for detection. That's the best way. And yeah, nuclei is also having a fuzzing template. So you can use nuclei fuzzer. You can use Neuro tool, Neuro, mark my words, Neuro. You can use that tool for effectively working out with nuclei in a proper way. But I will say relying on automation is not good. If you can work with automation, that would be good. Now, now, next thing, how to find disclosed information. So there's a lot of ways you can go for Google Docking. You can go for let's say you can go for Google Docking, or maybe you can go for Wayback. You can go for the fuzzing endpoints. You can try to bypass your things, right? You can do that types of things. Disclosed information is a very deep topic, right? You can find it from Dorking. I have a whole series, the live one series on the channel, which is completely based on this. So have a look to it. Now, next thing. Now, let's take a look on the next thing. Yeah, we can create content on business logic. No worries. So, how to find disclosed information? That's cool. How to make reports? Look, making report is very simple. You know, when you want to make a report, now do few things. Have it small, very small, right? Short. I'll have it short, specific, with impact. Usually you write all the crap out there, like what to do, how to find. Come on, straight and simple. That's all about report, and that's a really good report. Uh, Then showdown and census. So these two tools can help you a lot. If you know how to dork on it properly, you can have a lot of information. Showdown is not only about having IPs. Showdown can give you a lot of IPs, and that type of IP results into a lot of bugs. Suppose there is a URL which is giving 403 on a specific endpoint, but if you replace the URL with the IP, it can give you 200. Okay, so this type of bypasses are also available. Keep in mind, these types of bypasses are also available easily. Now, next thing, next thing, methodology, or I will say what tools we can use for the best bugs observation. There is no tool, I will say. Always have a good observation. Can we automate recon? I will say you can automate recon using recon FTW, but don't do it, because automating recon can destroy your observation skills, right? Because the more you observe recon, the more you spend time on recon, you will get to know the website in a better way. So that's the main thing. I will never suggest it. Then the third one, what type of example you want to see? Let me know. Let me show you a recon example. That recon we have done till now. Let me just take a look on my folder. Let's just go with CD. Okay. So look, I was doing recon on ATT. Now what I was having, take a look here. So I have done Amas, right? I got all the subdomains, right? I have four levels of subdomains, and I am having my final subdomains here sub X. Right now, this is the third level and fourth level. Now I tried for big IPs. I have, I don't know what is this file. Okay, it is for SSRF detections, all the deflections. Then the tool I was talking about, the data bug. Let me tell you what is this. Look, it separates all the URLs, all these things from the Wayback file. Then we are having JavaScript. Now, if you guys take a look on this thing, JavaScript files, all the JS files are here with 43,000 files. And yes, that can easily give you a lot of results. So, one bypass of 403 using IP. Currently, I don't have it, but I have seen it a lot of on Twitter. If possible, take a look on Twitter, Rahul. Then we are having categorized URLs detections, all the detections. Look, nuclei is not good, completely agreed to it. But if you take a look on or use it for detections, that's a good thing. MySQL running on this one, good. We don't need TLS. Composer, what we don't need all these things, but yeah. Spango detect, WordPress detects, right? Now, if you're having a WordPress, you can use the WP scan. Multiple things are there. Now, exposures. So yeah, this is having a lot of exposures using the same tool. HTTPX file, IPs and their respective ports, Jira URLs, Jenkins URLs and their respective bugs, leaks using data bugs definitely. New it was something. Wait a second. Yeah, it is CRT based subdomains. There's the subdomain level I was talking about. Then we got the subx, wayback of ATT, and access parameters. In the upcoming live session, Rahul, I will show you the bypass of 403 using IP. Have a chill pill. So we have a few significant wayback of you know ATT around 10 lakhs, I guess 10 million, 1 million, whatever it is. So recon is just limited to this, but there's more steps. There's more steps, right? This was my first computer. I do my major reconnaissance on it. Then I will hunt on my other device, which is around i7 16 gig of RAM, and we hunt on both of the devices. When it comes to hunting, you can go with the Notion. I really can't open the Notion. It's already going on some things, but still. Now, now, Sudan census, all good. No worries. We know how to get information. Look, this is very basic, right? The recon is not even here. As I said, there is more than 65 steps of recon. Will I really believe on it? Yes, there is more than 60 steps I usually follow. Right in the recent tweet, I have mentioned a few steps here. Let me share. Take a look here. Alias subdomains, recon, reverse IP lookups, all these things. These are even just a demonstration. This is not enough. We are having more things than that. Right? So spend a definite time. And that is for today's live. Now, before ending this live, I have few announcements. This course is out for everyone to buy. It was not for everyone to buy from the last 3 months, but from now it is available for everyone to buy. Also, we got the advanced bug bounty batch, upcoming batch starting in few days. So, if you want to pre-register for advanced batch, let me know. I'm dropping a phone number. If you want to ever discuss anything, you guys can WhatsApp on this, and we'll be replying if possible. All right. You guys know where to find the number in the website. Now, any if you have any question, any doubt, let me know. If you have any doubts, any questions, let me know. I'm watching the chat now. Okay, so there's no questions. Session was good. Now one more thing. Drop which was the last bug you tried or reported on any program in the in the video description. And see you guys in the upcoming video. Have a great day.